The ancient atlatl will throw 100 yards a football field. It took me 3 hours to make this knife from a rock in the Mojave Desert. This is a choke cherry bow. Choke cherries grow in the Sierra Nevadas up here in our mountains. Willow arrows, choke cherry arrows. But I like rose. See, this is rose. This is a fishing arrow. You see the cordage on the back. What I would do is take all this off, tie it on the front of my bow right here so I could hunt fish. Right out there, the water's going. I just stick it like this, water going into it. Any fish goes in there, so you can't get back out. There's like several ways to make these traps.
And it won't blow downstream?
No, I usually put a stone inside here to weight it down.
I see.
Victorinox. Make all these items from the Victorinox. Victorinox. I highly recommend these knives to all my students for many, many years. All this stuff and more. I made 3 Indian villages with this knife to live in. Ow! Oh, watch out for that fire. The Swisschamp by Victorinox is a very excellent knife. Even though I don't have this model yet, this knife I highly recommend for anybody going into the wilderness. Like all these things you've seen were made with that pocket knife. Pretty good knife. That's why I love this thing. Not a cheap copy from Kmart. If it says Swiss knife, you have to look on the main blade and it has to say Victorinox or it's not real. From Switzerland. Guaranteed forever. Beautiful knife. I recommend this knife to all my students. Thousands of people I've trained for many years. I've always recommended Swiss Victorinox. Why? Here's one of the reasons. This saw blade. The saw blades lasted years and years and years and still razor sharp. See? I almost cut my thumb off again for the 3rd time, huh, Miles? He watched me cut this thumb off. Did I go to the hospital? No. How'd Dad heal it? Hey, how'd I heal it? The birds. Speaking of great knives, Native American peoples and Aboriginal peoples around the world have used obsidian and flint for thousands and thousands of years. A very good friend of mine, Gary Pickett, here in Kern County, makes beautiful knives and blades and arrowheads. I'd also like to give a special thanks to the Native American Preservation Council of Kern County for sponsoring the powwows and Native peoples and our customary ways for many, many years. And you take this char made by the sun. The sun rays are hitting the can, which is catching the char on fire, and then from there you take the char into the fire tender and you'll have a fire. It takes a few minutes. The sun has to be just right temperature and humidity outside for this technique to work, but I've used it quite a few times, especially with a backpacker's fuel can, the butane cans. They're concave just like this beer can. They even work even better, but this technique does work. Now you have fire with a can.